You're listening to Biz-Souls, the business podcast with an edge, hosted by me, Rona Lewis, and Jeffrey Hansler. Tune in for perspectives and discoveries about the changing world of business. It's time to connect to the heart, soul, and humor of how business gets done. Hello and welcome to Biz-Souls. I'm Rona Lewis, and Jeffrey is off camera today because we are in a special place with a special guest. We are at the Hollywood Distillery with the lovely and talented Larry Newberg, who is the, Hooch Commander and partner in this amazing, amazing building. We'll take some pictures and follow it up. So, Larry, I'm gonna give a little background on you first. What you sent me, which I'm dropping, but that's okay. We don't need it. I don't need that part. So, you're an LA native.
Yes, born and raised.
Yes, and this was
Los Angeles.
This is the original Newberg and Newberg Imports is your family business. You took over 1979.
Something like that.
Somewhere
So it was
around
my
there?
father
Ish?
before me in the
Yeah.
early 60s, and then I've been doing it probably
Way before I was born.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Probably been doing it about 40 years.
Wow.
And we've always been in Hollywood, so I have this passion for Hollywood.
And so this was kind of like a toy for you, right?
So this is
Tell us everything.
So this is not exactly how I make a living, but my living allowed me the opportunity to do something like this. So
Right.
there's basically four partners. Three are the face of the company, and then we have one guy that's sort of our financial guy who's puts the insurance together and puts the loans together.
Everyone needs that.
And so there's Jeff, there's Ferris, and then there's Ron and me.
Right.
And
So are you all Hooch Commanders?
No,
Is there a
everybody's
Hooch Commander in chief?
everybody's
Or just,
there's everybody has a slightly different role.
right.
So about 10 years ago, I was part of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, and you can meet a lot of people at the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. And I got to say, I met two of my closest friends.
Nice.
Today. I can say that Jeff and Ferris have been just great friends. And it was their
You're on camera. What are you going to say? You hate them?
yeah, it was their passion project. Actually, it wasn't really my passion project.
So they twisted your arm.
So one day we're just at one of these chamber events, and we're sitting around talking, and they said that they were in the market for a building in Hollywood, and their idea was to build a distillery and make booze, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Your ears perked up.
I said, what the hell does that mean? What is that?
Right.
How do you even do that? Isn't it made over there? And isn't it made in Kentucky? Isn't it made in Scotland? Isn't it made
Said booze.
wine country? Isn't it made in France? And they go, no, anybody can make booze. And we want to do it right here in Hollywood. I said, wow, that's crazy. So what's the first step? Well, we can't rent the building. You have to own the building.
There's a lot of specific rules with doing this, right?
That's for starters, because once you hit some milestone of success, you don't want a landlord, telling you what to do. So the first thing was they had to find a location.
I hate when anyone tells me what to do. So
And,
I would hate a landlord.
So I said, pick me. I've got a property right here in Hollywood underneath the Hollywood sign. I said, I was like, I want to do something special with the property. I was using it as a warehouse for my business, and then, business shrunk a little bit because of COVID, and I rented it out for a few years. And I really wanted to do something special because it's right here on Santa Monica.
It's a great location.
Yeah, we're right across from the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and we're right underneath the Hollywood sign.
What's the exact address, just so people know?
I think it's 5975 Santa Monica. So we're just a little bit east of Vine.
Right.
And Santa Monica, for those who don't know it, is part of Route 66. From here to Chicago, going east, and from here to the Santa Monica Pier, it's all Route 66. And we have a tribute. There's a sign back there for we've honored Route 66, and it's got some real history here. Very.
And this used to be a mortuary, so
well.
Score.
So,
Who wouldn't want to have a
because
distillery
because
in a
of the
mortuary?
cemetery, there was a mortuary that was required. So Pierce Brothers is where, that's who I acquired the building from.
Right.
They basically moved out, went out of business because the cemetery was full.
Right.
And now it became more of an event space. Even the
Thank
cemetery.
God, because if you can't embalm
So
people,
I
what
bought
else
the
are you gonna do?
building because the sign went up, just because I could.
Yeah.
And it was an easy thing to do. My office was right across the street. And it was great. So I had it for several years, and I offered it up. I said, listen, if you guys make me a partner in this business, I'll make you a partner in the property. And that's pretty much was how the whole thing started.
Now, your vodka,
And
this
cheers.
is cheers. I can't slug it. I'm just.
It's okay. It's okay.
I can try, but then I would have to fall off.
It'll warm you up a
It
little.
is. I am toasty right now,
It'll warm you
literally,
up a little
and
bit.
I'm not that bad. So what amazes me is this is like no vodka that I have ever had. It's made from dates, and it was voted the best vodka in the world. Score, and I'm drinking it right now.
2019, we sent a bottle with no label, so it was a blind tasting.
Nice.
We sent it up to San Francisco, to the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. I don't know how many judges, and I don't know how many bottles, but there was at least 50 judges and probably a couple hundred bottles for people submitting. And in 2019, we after that, we got a letter in the mail saying we were voted best vodka in the world at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, and we won a double gold award.
That's
And we
amazing.
went, wow, we had never made any booze before. We're on a roll.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great ride.
And bonus, it's
because you
organic,
can't win
too.
a double gold award just right out of the gate.
Evidently, you can, Larry.
you know,
it's
I mean,
definitely possible.
It was like an impossible thing, and it just happened, and we said, okay, this is a good omen.
Yeah.
This is a good reason to continue this project, and one thing led to another. But
And it's an awesome space. It fits about 60 people comfortably.
Right.
90 if you squish and you're used to subways and you spill
so
outside a little bit.
we have a
It's awesome.
tasting room. The whole property is roughly just over 5,000 square feet. We've dedicated half of it to a tasting room, which is where we are right now. We have the barrels to my right, and we've got a bar to my left, and the other side is where we have, I would say, several $1 million worth of distillery equipment.
And they have a really good security system, so don't even try to get in here. Just saying.
So we make four things. On the clear side, we make the vodka, and we decided to make a gin, a very flavorful gin. And then we also have bourbon and rye,
Right.
which is basically that we learned how to make because we went to Kentucky on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. I'm sure you've heard of it.
That's fun,
And
yeah.
we met several distillery owners, some really big brands, and we mentored our distillery off of one that we really liked in Kentucky.
That's awesome.
And then we made friends with those guys, and they've been out here to mentor us a little bit. So we hope to have them out here again.
I want to go back to the vodka a little bit
Sure.
because the vodka's made. Can I say that again? The vodka. See, I've had 3 sips and already.
Yeah.
I need to gain weight so I can drink more. That's all there is to it.
Drink more.
So, tell me about the difference in terms of you make your vodka with dates, and most of us know vodka with potatoes.
So Japanese make it out of rice, and some people make it out of potatoes. And the truth of the matter is, you can almost use anything as a fermenter. So my partner, Ferris, happens to be from Lebanon. He's been out here for most of his adult life, and back in the old days, his dad was making booze, and being from the Middle East, he thought it would be a very interesting idea to make the vodka from a medjool date. So we drove out to the Coachella Valley. There's a date farm called Oasis Date Farm, and we went over there and met with them, and we were able to secure enough dates, several thousand pounds. So this is where it gets interesting. We don't bring the dates here and pit them. They pitted the dates for us. They sent it up to Fresno to a special plant, and they turned it into date syrup. They basically
I use
ground
date
it
syrup
up.
in
Yeah.
cooking.
So this ultimately became a date syrup.
Okay.
And we had to make us 10 55-gallon drums of date syrup, and our first batch of vodka came from dates. And you're right, it's not as antiseptic as some of those vodkas that you make your
smoother,
martinis
and
out of.
I can taste.
It's like a
the
brandy or a cognac. This is something you can just room temperature or over one ice cube and just enjoy it because it's so
Definitely
flavorful.
sipping vodka.
Yes.
Just like this.
And it's just, it's just exciting. Here, cheers.
Cheers.
Love it.
It is.
I think I have a little bit almost, every day at home for dinner. I keep a bottle in the freezer. That's what
Which is fine. Look, people
that's what I love
have a
the
glass
most. I like
of
it
wine.
right out of the freezer. I'll
Yeah.
just pour it sort of neat, as they say, right into a glass, and whether we're having fish or salad, it's always nice.
It can,
to
this
have a little nip
this
just
is
before dinner.
It's much more universal than red wine or white wine.
Yeah,
or,
it'll open up your palate and get your appetite going. There's no
It's
question.
fantastic. So let's talk a little bit more about the gin, because the gin is a little bit different too, isn't it?
The gin is extraordinarily different and flavorful.
I haven't tried that yet.
Let me
I
sort
can't
of,
do that
let me
on
sort of
camera.
back it up a little bit. We
Okay.
really started with the bourbon,
Okay.
and then we went into the rye as an experiment. Turns out the rye is really delicious. Turns out the bourbon is really great. The barrels that are over here to our right, these are all made back in 2017. So they've been aging for over 8 years in these barrels.
I see that. Yeah.
And of course, when you make bourbon, it goes in clear from the, and it comes out this golden flavor because the color comes from the inside of the charred barrels. So we started with that. We our first year we made 60 barrels because we really didn't have the facility. It was just a concept at the time, so we didn't want to make anymore. So then we pivoted. That's when we were done with the bourbon and the rye. We pivoted to the vodka. That was really just an experiment because we were done with this experiment. We had to pivot. The gin, I got to say, is fairly new.
Okay.
The gin only got invented since we've been in this building and I wouldn't say not operational, but I would say in the last 6 months we put the gin together. So it's not as old as the vodka and it's not as old as the bourbon and the rye.
Now, gin and vodka don't have to age, though, do they?
That's correct. You can start the process on Monday, and the following Monday it's done, and it goes straight into a bottle. So that's what we do. In our case, it doesn't go straight into the bottle. It goes into a spirit safe. From a spirit safe, it goes into a tank, and it sits in the tank. And then from the tank, we bottle it as required.
As we need it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
As
that
we
makes
sell
sense.
it.
So it seems like there's not a lot of waste in terms of what you do.
There's not a lot of waste.
Which is brilliant.
But I guess you can make a mistake and screw it up and make it wrong. But
Knock on wood, not yet.
We have a pretty good team that we've put together. We have some professional distillery, the gentlemen that help us build the place, our mentor from, our mentors from Kentucky helped us put it together. We haven't really made that kind of a mistake yet.
Right. Well, you were very smart.
Where we got into trouble was really COVID.
Yeah,
If not for COVID, this would have been open probably 4 years ago.
Welcome to the entire world.
Today.
That's what happens. So,
Yes.
what's your favorite thing about this? I mean, what do you love about this?
That's a great question because
Why I asked it.
it's a great question. So I love telling the story that I own a distillery and that I make booze.
And that you're a Hooch Commander.
Yeah, people are so fascinated by it. It's such a unique thing. It's such an unexpected, when the question is posed to me, that like this podcast. I mean, I can talk about it for hours. I didn't prepare for this. I didn't really prepare for this podcast
because that's not the way we do it anyway.
I've been living this and
Yeah.
dreaming this. So the best part about it is that I own it, and
Yeah.
that it's, I'm part of it, and you guys are here now. We met, you
Yeah.
decided to come. I've had all my friends have come to have a drink with me. We've had all the partners had all their most immediate family and friends
Sure.
come. We shared the concept with everybody, and it's just been an incredible. That's it. The reward that comes from sharing this with other people, and they take the bottle and take it home with them. Goes on their bar in their house.
Yeah.
And
that's marketing in and of
and it feels
itself.
it feels good.
Yeah.
Just feels good.
Well, and just saying that's how Larry and I met. We were at a party at our friend Tasha Ann Powell. She'll be on the podcast eventually.
Yeah.
Who works with your wife, and when I heard
her
that,
Jeff.
and her Jeff, right? So when I heard this, I was like, "You're coming on the podcast," and you were just okay.
Yeah, we were at that birthday party,
Yeah,
and you and I met,
Yeah.
and
we had some great conversations.
and I guess I had an interesting story to tell.
You did. You did. Hey,
and that's why we're here today.
I am picky about guests, so consider yourself honored.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
So, what would you say about someone who has an opportunity to get involved with an entrepreneurial venture that is way out of their scope of knowledge that just seems fun? This is just like a tip for somebody else.
It became somewhat of a financial burden in the sense that we had to carry it so long, and weren't able to start the construction. So I would say from an entrepreneurial standpoint, you have to be careful. Something like this can cost a lot of money.
I can imagine
if you're
yeah.
not careful.
Yeah.
And we got into that trap a little bit. I can certainly say we invested more here than we probably needed to, or we could have done it for less. But we had so many obstacles, whether it was the city of Los Angeles, or whether it was COVID. We had hit a couple snags along the way because the city had never built a distillery before, and they were actually coming to us and asking us, what we think, if
Just
how it should be built, and so it was an incredible partnership in terms of the city of Los Angeles and us.
Because then you could tell them what you really wanted to do.
Because now they can repeat the process and and use us as their guinea pigs. So on one hand they were strict and we had to do things by code, of course, and on the other hand they showed us some flexibility and allowed us to do what we thought was really important.
Sometimes being a guinea pig is the best way to go because they're
and,
right there with you. So
we
you
became
get a lot of
friends.
latitude.
Basically, became friends with the city, and they were here every day going, what do you think of this?
Do you like pass them a bottle?
Yeah, well, they all, they all got everybody got a bottle. Yeah,
Nice.
At the end of it.
Yeah. So I would say, that I think this is a really exciting opportunity for you. What else? That it's part of a tour also, right? Starline Tours. For those of you who want to come visit LA. So
there's a couple ways that we have been promoting it. It's certainly social media. We have an Instagram page that the Hollywood Distillery. Any one of you can follow us. We're trying to keep it very active.
It's at Hollywood Distillery.
Correct. Hollywood Distillery. If you just search it, we come right up and right there. We've been pretty active. A couple ways that we want to make money or say build revenue would be through the tours. Right. So we partner with online with the Star Tours. That's those double-decker buses that come. So we're on their map. We're a spot on their map.
And it's only like $30 to come in.
Yeah.
And come in, take the tour.
If you book it with online tours, Starline Tours, then you pay them, and then you come here and have a taste. Right. And we give you a full tour of the facility.
Which is
all
magnificent, by the way.
all the equipment.
It's definitely a
and
work
the tasting room. It's really great. And hopefully you'll buy a bottle and take it back to your hotel room.
And you guys they can buy it online, right?
Well, the next track is the events. We have this beautiful event space. We've had
Am I pushing it? Sorry.
No. We have anything from a murder mystery to corporate events. We have a whole audio-visual system in here.
It is.
We have a screen.
You guys are set up for everything.
It's an homage to Hollywood. We try to find celebrities.
Corporate
drinking,
events. Have your corporate events here.
Corporate
That's
events.
Perfect.
And then the next track is we're going to try to build out the online sales. We're going to focus on California, where there are some restrictions with where you can sell booze.
Sure.
So we're going to focus on California. If we can get a few hundred bottles going out of here every month, nothing would make us happier.
And the website is hollywooddistillery.com?
Correct.
Go to the website, check it out.
Yeah.
So I think that is good for today. There are so many more questions. We may have to come back and do a part 2. Yeah. So cheers to you, Larry. I'm so glad we did this. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And anyone who comes to LA, you need to come to the Hollywood Distillery. Tell them Rona sent you. Probably won't do you any good, but you might as well say that just in case, so he knows that someone actually saw this.
We'll take care of anyone that comes.
Any friend of Rona's is
a friend of
Rona's. All right.
Hollywood Distillery. Yeah.
There you go. All right. That is it for us. Thank you, Larry, for coming on. This was super fun.
I love having you guys here, and
we're going to go taste test some things, but carefully, because we got to drive home. All right, that's it for us. I'm Rona Lewis. Jeffrey says goodbye. This has been Biz-Souls. We'll see you next time.
Great.
You've been listening to the Biz-Souls podcast with your hosts, Rona Lewis and Jeffrey Hansler. Did you have fun? Subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Talk to you next week.